Let's pick this up here. This guy. Okay, I got it. Hi. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Eric Ita, and in this video I'm going to show you 5 commands that I've taught my dog that makes it easy for us to go hiking off leash. Now, I'm not saying that you should take your dog off leash, because God forbid something happens and you're going to blame me like it's my fault. I'm just telling you that this is how I've prepared my dog for a life of adventure with me. Now, I'm someone who's active. I'm out in the world. I'm hiking and biking and trekking, all of the things that end with ing. So I'm out there, out in the world, and I have to get the dog that fits that lifestyle. So for me, a Malinois is perfect because 5 hours of interaction every day, no big deal, right? The dog is going to get mental stimulation, going to get physical exertion. This dog, let's be honest, is enjoying life. I'm going to give you one good scenario that proves why the recall command is necessary to have off-leash freedom with your dog. Now, you're out in the wilderness, minding your business, right? You're doing your thing, weaving and bobbing through all of the trees and whatnot, when out of nowhere, a bear shows up. Now, I don't know about you, but my dog has never fought a bear before, and I have no faith in her ability to successfully engage a bear and the outcome be in her favor. So what I need my dog to do whenever she sees a bear is to return back to me. So if I call my dog and my dog cannot come back to me on command, then we're in trouble. That dog's not getting no off-leash freedom, because once I see a bear, I'm going the other direction. So recall training is the most important thing that your dog has to master before you give them off-leash freedom. And you have to test it constantly. You have to test your dog all the time. You have to make sure that your dog's recall is excellent, because there are always situations where your dog wants to run off to somewhere. Your dog wants to go across the street. Your dog wants to go to the bear, right? So your dog needs to understand that when you say come, come means come. In general, when you're calling your dog back, you want to give your dog affection, you want to give your dog food, you want to make it a positive experience 100% of the time, which is why if you use your dog's name negatively, like if I said Capri, no, Capri, stop, Capri, don't do that, right? Every time I said her name, she would, what was that? Did I do something wrong? She would question it, which means that the recall will not be as effective because she's not running to me at 100% capacity, efficiency, and speed. Being able to command your dog in situations when there are other people around is obviously important. Capri, get over here. Good. Hi guys, how's it going? That's the purpose of training a good recall, because you want to be able to put your dog in situations like that and trust that they're going to listen and they're going to pay attention, especially when there are other people around. Do not be one of the persons who gets caught in a situation that they cannot recall their dog from. Almost every dog owner wants the kind of dog that you can go off leash with. But how do we prepare our young puppies for a life of adventure? There's nothing wrong with owning a lazy dog, a dog where you expect nothing, a dog that's just good for cuddling, comfort, right? But if you're an active person and you plan on being out in the world, then it makes sense that you would want an active breed. So you have to be conscious of that. What sort of lifestyle are you living? And based on that, you can get the kind of dog that's right for you.
He loves drinking out of there.
Hold on. Unconsciously, since I've been training,
Yeah.
anytime I'm like trying to tell them, like trying to affirm something that they're doing,
Sure.
I'll say good.
Yeah.
Just as like a natural reaction,
habit, yeah.
not associated with anything else.
Yeah.
For the first time, I had somebody react to it,
What'd they say?
where I said, like I wasn't trying to like talk about something specific at the end of a set, or usually it's at the end of something, and I said good. I don't know, she was on like 9 or 10 of like 12 or 15 reps.
Yeah.
And she stops and she's like, am I, like, do I keep going?
Yeah.
Or like, am I done? I'm like, no, yeah, you're good. So I think I've conditioned my clients.
You're training people like you train dogs.
Yeah.
With good.
It really works the same way. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
And I've been training her for a long time.
right.
So she's had it more than everybody else.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. I thought of you in that instance. I haven't like connected it to anything else, just the fact that I've noticed it before. But
Yeah. I usually will say like "good girl"
Yeah.
like, to a girl, and they get really pissed off.
And they're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
it's habit.
Yeah.
You don't like standing still
Or
either?
or just the way I say yes when
Yeah.
I respond to something like
Yep.
yes. And I don't think about it. You know.
That's so funny.
And Capri's over here like, you're talking to me?
Same place. Find it. Yes, good boy.
I personally have 2 dogs. Juicebox is back here. She is 14, but in her prime, she was quite the active dog. She's a German Shepherd mix. And here is the 2.5-year-old Capri Sun, who is a half German Shepherd and half Malinois. Because I lead an active lifestyle, I can provide the sort of fulfillment that this breed needs. And I kid you not, this dog requires 5 hours a day of interaction just to stay happy, just to not ruin stuff, just to not be chewing on my couches. In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 commands that my dog had to master that granted her off-leash freedom. You'll notice in many of my videos that my dog is wearing an e-collar.
Break.
I use that for security purposes. If she's going to be off leash, if she runs too far away, I need to be able to call her back to me. And I'm not really one to yell. So for me, it's very effective to simply push a button that tells her to come back. And so that's what that's all about. I don't actively use the e-collar, but I'll show you when I do. The thing is that all of these commands have to be proofed. So I have to make sure that in every situation, when I call my dog, she's going to come back to me. So the very first thing we work on is the recall training. Now, recall is interesting because a lot of people think just simply saying come to your dog is a recall, but that's not what it is. Recall means that we're going to be calling our dog away from something. There was way too much going on, I had to put some of those dogs away. But let's get back to the video. So the first thing we're talking about here is recall. We want to be able to call the dog back from danger. That's the most important thing. The dog might find it to be something interesting and exciting, so they're running towards something. And we need to make sure that at any point in time when we give the dog a recall command, they're going to come back. Now, this is something to pay attention to. The recall command should never be used negatively.
You have to make sure they have all of the experiences so that they know that the rules apply everywhere you go, not just in certain places. I don't know where she is, but because we've had a recall in the house, I can give her a call and see if she comes. Capri! May have lost her. Capri, over here! Now, this is where that recall training comes in handy. See? Good. And even though she took too long to get to me, it makes no sense for me to punish her for it. So never punish your dog when they do come to you, just because they took too long, or just because they didn't come to you as quickly or as immediately as you would have liked.
A lot of people will say, if I said, for example, Capri, no. Capri, stop. Capri, don't do that. Every time I called her name, what would happen? She would go, uh-oh, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Right, so she's going to be questioning, thinking twice before she comes back to me. A good recall command should always have a positive association 100% of the time. For me, I always teach a backup recall with sounds, something that I know that I'm not going to mess up, something that I know that I'm not going to say on accident for no reason whatsoever. So my recall is a sound. Good girl. So I make that sound and my dog understands that she's to come back to me. 100% of the time it is for something good, right? Good girl. She's getting cuddles, she's getting food, she's getting access to going outside. Something good is about to happen whenever she hears that sound, 100% of the time, so she never has to question it. I'm going to give you 4 complementary commands that will help you maintain off-leash freedom with your dog. Now remember that you have to continually, consistently prove these commands, and anytime your dog fails, go back to the drawing board, work on the commands again, take time, be patient. Do not be in a rush to give your dog off-leash freedom. The second command is wait. Now, I use wait the way you would use stop, for example.
Wait. Good. Okay.
If she's in front of me and we're moving, I say wait, then I hold onto the leash till I've caught on to her. When I catch on, then I release her with a release command. In my case, is okay. Now, okay is a terrible release command, so do not use okay because you will use okay in regular conversation, which means you might accidentally break your dog from a position when you're having a conversation with a mate of yours. And you say, okay, sounds good, and then your dog breaks their position.
Capri, wait. Hi guys. Hello. Go.
Wait is a great command to teach your dog, and you also have to proof it. And the way that I proof it to make sure my dog understands that she's not to move when I say wait is that with the leash I pull in one direction or the other, and as long as she doesn't move with me, I can mark it good and reward. Then release her with the release command. So what that tells her is that she's to hold her position until she hears the release command.
He's my hero. He is my hero.
That's a she, yeah.
Oh, this is she. That is she's my hero. Oh,
Enjoy, guys.
You guys take care. Let Sunny go and do a recall. Let's see if we can catch this on video.
Now you know.
it's like I know you got food, Dad. Go on.
Hey.
How old are they?
7 and 8.
Oh, okay. Obviously months. Oh, years.
Usually, when they were months, they were like,
Yeah, they would go up to the top
yeah,
of the side.
they were like, oh my gosh.
That's cool.
They're adorable.
Yeah.
I also love the bell. That's such a smart idea.
Yeah, you can hear them anywhere.
Moving.
Alright,
Come on, puppy.
Yeah. This one's little. You're too little to be dry. He was the worst.
You guys take care.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
The third command is your release command. The dog has to know with absolute certainty what they're waiting for. When you say down, when you say sit, the dog has to have it in their head that they're waiting to hear the word okay or break, free, whatever that word is. And so you have to condition them through many, 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 many hours and hours and days and months of repetition and consistency, more importantly, that every time you say sit, you're going to release them with a command. And so that means when your dog tries to break a position, you have to reinforce it. So you put them back in a sit, you put them back in the down, and then you release them on your time. The fourth command is for the center heel position. Now, my dog does a good job of maintaining a heel between my legs. It's not something that's hard to teach. There's a fair amount of consistency involved, and not every dog really likes to be in that position. If you're on the trail, you're bound to encounter other hikers, and most likely they've got their dogs with them. What tends to happen is someone will give way so you can pass. Now, the way I pass safely is to put my dog in the center heel position, and then I move very calmly past the dog, past the humans. If there are multiple people, bigger groups of people, it's very easy for me to walk through without being concerned that my dog's leash is going to get tangled between someone's leg or anything like that.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Brick.
How's it going?
Right. So it's a very good command to teach your dog, and it's quite effective in a real life situation. The last command that your dog needs to master before you go out into the great outdoors is the leave it command. Now, when I say leave it to my dog, I need to make sure that my dog understands that she's not to go back to that item under any circumstance. Now, when people teach the dog leave it, they throw something on the ground, they say leave it, the dog ignores it, looks at them, they go good, and then they allow the dog to go back to that thing. That, in my opinion, is not a proper leave it, because a proper leave it means that the dog is not to, under any circumstance, go back to that reward.
Leave it.
Oh my god, they got really
Usually with the leave it, I'll issue the command way before we've reached the other dog or person, because I want my dog to know and to process the information beforehand. So I'm not going to say leave it when she's right there, because if we're there and it's too close, she's certainly going to do a sniffing or something. She might ignore the dog, but if it's too late, she will still get a sniff in. You know, when I give her the command in advance, it gives her time to process the information, because again, remember, when the dog is focused and there are other dogs around, other people around, the dog might not be listening as effectively as you think she is. So giving her the command before she's gotten riled up gives her a chance to process the information before she even gets close to the other dog. So those are the top 5 commands that I teach my dog to prepare her for a life of adventure with me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. Break.